Your project folder is your footlocker, designer, and I expect you to keep your creative projects in order. Your process shouldn't be sloppy, and neither should your files. So you need to get your files in tip-top shape, and I mean pronto. Sir, yes, sir.
Welcome to Glitchka Studios. Usually I share with you my artwork and the process behind creating the art. Well, I decided today to kind of give you a sneak peek inside normal project folder for Glitchka Studios, the unglamorous side of the creative process, I guess you could say. Standard, regular type of folder, nothing fancy. I like yellow. I prefer yellow, not sure why. I always write on it in red pen the project name and number, put it on there. So we're going to take a look inside and see what we find. This specific project is a logo identity project for Northwest Church out of Washington. And usually what I do with my clients is I have them send whatever they've done in terms of print collateral to this point. And here's some business cards they sent me, different colors for the different types of roles in this church. And multicolored. Is it a candy shop? Is it a church? Either way, it's pretty ugly. So we're going to redo those. Here's another one. You know, that's basically what they're inviting people to come to the service with. Pretty sinfully ugly. And we're going to hopefully redeem their graphics. Let's take a look at another one. Here's another one. Glorified Photoshop job. And let's now take a look at some postcards of theirs. Now, postcards are a great way to market yourself, especially for a church, low cost, and you can do it very professionally. Well, these are everything but that, and so this makes up their current identity. So I always want to audit their current identity, and whenever they're doing print collateral-wise, to see where they're at and what they've done and where they've been. So we can avoid those mistakes moving forward. Here's some typical correspondence. You'll find my project folder of mine. This is an email that I've been given feedback on certain changes. So I like to read through these, correspond with my clients, ask follow-up questions and such. Here's another email. This one, once we got to the point of picking the design, working out the source files, developing the business cards, and I'm just going through making sure I get everybody's name right. So no surprise there. Your typical email talking about specific colors. And I have to save all these so I can refer back to them. So I have a record of what we've discussed and what's been agreed on. And I also keep the digital files as well. Now, another thing you're going to find in my project folder is my thumbnail sketches. I keep all my sketches, whether or not I use them or not. I try to hold on to them. Here's some where I'm playing around with NW for Northwest, trying to work out different design layouts and formats to utilize, and I played off a few of these, as you're going to see in a second. Here's some more, trying different things, 3 chords bound together, playing off a Bible verse. It's okay, not that great. And I was trying to be a little more metaphorical, so I'm not going to use this one. Not a bad idea, just wasn't working for this specific project, but I'm going to save that idea regardless. Here's another one. It's a Bible and a dove. Not a bad idea. Didn't really use it. Here's another one I'm playing off of. And this is some words. That kind of hints at where I end up going eventually. So I'll hold on to that. Here's another one. Standard Bible, Inspiring Spark, you know, so on and so forth. Didn't go with anything with that. So I'm going to continue exploring, Here's another one where I tried to use the negative space. And, you know, I'm looking at this and I'm going, not sure if this is going to work. Yeah, I'm probably going to toss it. Not sure why I'm even thinking of a sailboat on the one on the bottom, but that's the creative process. You just kind of go with the flow. I do have a quote here. It says, "Honey, catch the goose." And that comes from a Shakespeare quote where anytime he's inspired, he'd tell his wife that. So she would run out, grab a goose, pluck a feather, and he would use it to write with. So I like that saying. Has nothing to do with this project, but during the course of working on this project, I saw that quote, so I wrote it down just so I could hold on to it. I thought that was a great quote. So that's okay. That's all part of the creative process. It's fluid. Don't reject ideas even if they're not appropriate. Here's some icons that I started working on to relay the different ministries, and I like those. I'm going to hold on to those. Here's one where two faces talking together, communicating. It's kind of like a Bible. So I'm going to see if I can use that later. Maybe not. Here's a paper clip with an ichthus, a Christian fish symbol, and that's stupid. So gonna toss that away, not going to use that. Here's some other ones. And I'm starting to kind of move forward on some of these. Some of these concepts are going to work. I tend to star the ones that I think have potential later on that I can use. I'm also writing keywords down. Anything, even a little sketch of a thumb. I'm doing thumbnail sketches, so that just kind of popped out. You're going to find all kinds of inappropriate and things that don't really apply. So I'm working off other symbols here. Here's some more iconic work. And some of these are going to work its way into some of the approaches that I present. Here's another one where I'm trying to work off of, and the video's crappy on this, so you can't see that, but that didn't really work, so I'm not really going there. It looked like lips anyway. Here's another one I'm working on, playing off of a bird, seeing if I can work that in for Holy Spirit and stuff. It's okay, but little bit hints towards Nazi, not good when you're talking about a church, so we won't be using that. And as you can see, yes, I'm drawing on the back of some sermon notes. It's okay to draw in church. It's not a sin. Let's jump to the next one. Here's a bunch of thumbnails that I worked up. I think all these have potential, so I paste these up on a sheet. Now, I'm not building from these because these are all basic shapes, so I'll just use them as a general guide. So we're going to move into my comp stage, and these are what I present to my client. These are the color comps that I send to them for approval. I like presenting what I call brand systems, a primary mark, secondary mark, and secondary brand elements. So that was that one. Is okay, kind of looked like Simon Says, so no do. That was okay, kind of a Bible. This is Northwest Church, NW. I kind of like this. Somewhat clever, but still kind of generic, so I didn't actually show that one to the client. Here's another one, and I like the styling, but once I looked at it again, I said, you know, this one looks like Simon Says too, so I'm going to toss that one as well. Kind of like the concepts going on here, the subtle hint at a Bible page, the Holy Spirit kind of pointing northwest, kind of reinforces the name. I think this is cool, but I think it's a little too sophisticated, so I doubt they go for that. Here's another one, more of a literal approach where I just make a nice graphic representing the Northwest. It's more illustrative. It's okay. I think it might make a good t-shirt. I don't think it's going to work for the logo. So I actually didn't even end up showing this version to the client. And that's okay. That's part of my exploratory process. Now, here's one where I created a system of icons that nest together to form the primary mark. I like this. I like where this is going. That was one of the directions I showed. Here's the other direction, playing off of those orbs you originally saw. And I really like this. And this kind of hints towards where the final mark ended up going. And the icons work with that as well. Here's another idea I did approach. Now, after I sent it to him, I was thinking, okay, this really does look like Simon Says. Simon Says, go to church, you know, or throw this in the garbage can. Either way, not a great idea. It's okay. It's just after I saw Simon Says, that's all I could think about. Well, the client went for this. They like this. I made some notes for myself on the printout that I wanted to fix, that I wanted to tweak, that I wanted to work with. And I made those changes. And then this is part of the simple style guide I'll put together for a small business. Now, I don't do this for big agencies. They have their own elaborate style guides. These are small ones for a small business, or in this case, a church, to be able to manage their mark going forward. It tells them what file to use for what given purpose. And it just helps them to be consistent with their artwork moving forward. So it's a smart thing to do. And if you don't do this with your clients, I highly suggest it. It's a good practice to get into. I have a template I use. This one had 2 pages where I also have the icons also provided, and those are spelled out in terms of usages on that as well. So that's basically everything you'll find in my project folder. And I thank you for watching.